So hello everyone, this is me Shazan Ahmed and you're watching my channel Shazan Ahmed Official. So basically today I'm gonna talk about one of the movies that I have watched recently and that has been released recently at the same time. And the name of that movie is Bawaal, starring Varun Dhawan and Jahanvi Kapoor. Okay, and this movie is directed by none other than Nitesh Tiwari, the same person who directed the movies like Chichore and Dangal. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, this movie Bawaal was intended to release on theaters in theaters. Okay, but I don't know what literally happened, and because of that they all like the makers of that movie Bawaal took this OTT route. Okay, and now this movie like was released on 21st July. Okay, and yesterday was Sunday, and I was like having some free time and I decided to watch that movie on Amazon Prime. Okay, so let me talk about that movie first of all. So you could say the whole movie revolves around none other than Varun Dhawan. He plays the role of like Ajay, also known as Ajju Bhaiya. Okay, who's kind of like a person who very much obsessed with his image, in the eyes of the people. In order to create his ideal image, he can do anything and he can just go at any length. Okay, so this is what the character of Varun Dhawan. And talking of the character of Jahanvi Kapoor, so basically she plays the role of Nisa. Okay, she plays the role of Nisa, and Nisa is a kind of like an independent, very beautiful or kind-hearted girl, you could say. But she suffers from epilepsy. Epilepsy, like when you start to getting this fits. So that is the condition of epilepsy that she suffers from. And then Varun Dhawan falls in love with the Ajju Bhaiya falls in love with Nisa, and they get married. But what happens is Ajju Bhaiya, as I told you, he is very self-conscious about his image. He's very much or over-conscious about his image in the eyes of the people, and he doesn't want anybody to know this fact that his wife suffers from epilepsy. So he does not go out with his wife at all. He doesn't lead a very normal life with his wife. Okay, and yeah, of course I forgot to mention one more thing. This Ajju Bhaiya is basically is not an actor. He's not an invest banker. He is not an IS officer. He is a history teacher. Okay, although he doesn't know how to teach, he just loves to he just loves to boss around the people, but he just doesn't know how to teach. He just doesn't know about anything for that matter. Okay, but again, but people still respect him, people still admire him, just because of the fact that he is very just because of the fact that he portrays that image of him. Okay, he just tries to portray his self image in such a way that people think he's like a very great person for that matter. Okay, so anyhow, this is the kind of like a crux of the story. But what really happens are kind of like a event happens in their lives, and that is like a spoiler, so I just can't give you that spoiler unless you ask me in the comment section. Okay, so there is a kind of like an event happens in the life of Ajju Bhaiya, and that transpired him and Nisa to go to Paris and to Amsterdam and to go to Auschwitz. Okay, these are as you know, all these places are like in the Europe. Okay, and the director of the movie Nitesh Tiwari sir, he kind of tries to create parallels with their lives. Okay, he tries to create parallels with their lives. Okay, and there is a good philosophical thought that goes behind making this movie, I would say. Okay, a lot of things are compared between our modern life and the things that happened during World War II. So I think this is a kind of a very unusual romantic movie that I have seen in the Bollywood. Otherwise the movies are literally very typical, but I'm feeling happy that how Bollywood people are paying more and more attention to such love stories. To be very honest, I find the acting department of this movie Bawaal is kind of like underwhelming. Okay, I mean, I have expected a lot from Jahanvi Kapoor and Varun Dhawan to deliver, and of course from the Nitesh Tiwari. But I'm telling you, the overall quality of the movie, the overall performance of the movie is quite underwhelming, to be very honest. Yeah, there are several hard hitting moments that you are like, kind of like feel it in your heart. You feel it, you can just even cry on it. Some tears also can drip from your eyes. But apart from that, like, I just ain't kind of like that movie, and I would say it is one of the least favorite it is one of the least decent movies I have watched, which is I have watched, and which is directed by Nitesh Tiwari. Come on, yeah, like, give me a break. Nitesh Tiwari is the director who made the movies like, Chiller Party and Dangal, Chichore. So he's been having this kind of like a streak of giving one hit after the other, and all his movies are like great in every aspect, in acting department, in performance department, in music department. But I think Bawaal just does stand out in its music department. There are several soulful songs, and those soulful songs are just like my favorite, you could say. But apart from that, if you ask me about the other department, so it just lacks. It suffers from a good performances. It suffers from good comedic lines at the same time. To be very honest, I just didn't like those gigs, those comedic punches that were utilized in this movie. I mean, those are like very generic, or those are like very kind of like very suffocating or stifling at best. I just didn't expect these kind of like comical scenes from the movie directed by Nitesh Tiwari. Of course, I was like expecting some natural, spontaneous gigs or jokes coming into the movie and making you laugh out loud. But it was like totally opposite. It seems like as if the comedy is being forced on us. Okay, and that is something that I just didn't buy into it. But still, I would say, although it has its own flaws, it has its own minuses, but I would like to just I would like you to recommend to watch this movie in order to get a very different kind of like a love story. Okay, to be very honest. Okay, because like recently there is a movie released, Satya Prem Ki Katha, starring Kartik Aaryan and Kiara Advani. So even that romantic movie was not a very what should I say, that was not generic at all. I was not expecting that kind of like a movie from Bollywood that talks about bisexuality, that talks about sexual abuse in such a beautiful way. So this movie could have been better, with better performances, with better dialogue delivery, with better star cast, if you like. Okay, but still, this movie Bawaal, I would like to recommend you guys. You could watch it. You could just watch it for a while. I mean, just for having a good time, you could watch it, and you would realize that now Bollywood is kind of like revolving. At least when it comes to romantic stories, I know that you guys are like gonna think that why these Bollywood people are only making this romantic or love story kind of like a movies. But to be very honest, this is like even my own favorite genre, and I'm feeling like very happy, or I'm feeling over the moon that these guys are trying to put some different elements into that same love story. Yeah, love story remains the same. Okay, you can talk about V Zara, you can talk about Romeo Juliet, you can talk about any romantic story for that matter. Love remains the same, because love is like a kind of like a universal feeling. Okay, love is kind of like a universal feeling. So love is always and always same. It is just that people present it in a different languages, right? But if you just try to put any other element into this love stories, so it just creates a kind of like a magic that everybody aches for, that everybody yearns for. So I think Bollywood is like going into that direction, and I don't know like now which romantic movies are coming. I think except Ashki 3 starring Kartik Aaryan, or maybe Rashmika Mandanan may come into that movie. I'm not aware about it, but this is something that I have got to know about from here and there. Like only this movie I'm aware about. This Ashki 3 is coming in this romantic genre. Let's hope for the best. But I would just love to watch more and more romantic movies that have some sort of subtle message embedded into it. Okay, I mean, I want that subtleness, and I really want Shah Rukh Khan to come back and to do this romantic kind of like a movies. Of course, like everybody is like craving for his massy, sassy, sexy avatar, and we all have been experiencing that thing, you know. Like in Pathan, we saw his that sassy, saucy, and sexy avatar, but still, you know, I still yearn for that romantic Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, so please, Shah Rukh Khan, it's a petition from my side to come back on the silver screen with a romantic movie. And I think so. Okay, let's come back to the story. So I think I have taken a lot of time. I think I have overrun. Okay, I have overrun as well. But just do let me know that if you have watched this movie Bawaal, so how was that, and what things you liked in that movie. And if you haven't watched that movie, so please watch it whenever you get the free time. So until then, to take yourself, bye bye and see ya, and love you.